Lane Kiffin has been lauded as bringing in possibly the best transfer class of anyone in college football for 2024. Kiffin probably cares less about that and more about getting productivity, big-time productivity from the 22 side, especially these five. Welcome to the Voice of College Football, breaking down the game we all love each and every day with you. Please subscribe to our SEC channel and like the video. Running down the top 5 incoming transfer players at Ole Miss. And we start with a player coming in from the SEC, the other division when there were divisions, but no more in 2024. Juice Wells, Antoine, the given name, from South Carolina. Caught 68 passes, over 900 yards and 6 touchdowns, but that was back in 2022. In 2023, Juice Wells was only on the field for 3 games at the beginning of the season, 3 catches and 1 touchdown. He had a bad foot that was supposed to be healing to get him back on the field. He was listed as probable, questionable, doubtful, all of those during the course of the 23 season, but never got back on the field. He's at 6'1", 210, and he really blew up at the conclusion of that 22 season. South Carolina took us all by surprise by taking down Tennessee and also Clemson at the end of the year for the first time in forever. And Juice Wells was at the forefront of those ground-breaking wins for Shane Beamer. 11 catches for $177 against Tennessee. 9 catches, 131 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the 31-30 upset of Clemson. But Juice Wells is now in Oxford and our number 5 player for the incoming transfers at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is not shy concerning playmakers on offense, but what about the other side of the football? Well, the recruiting has been strong on the defensive side, but those guys, many of them will take a couple years to be ready to play at the SEC level. But incoming transfer Trey Amos, by way of Louisiana Monroe, now 1 season at Alabama, seems to be ready to fit right into the lineup at 6'1", 200 pounds, 71 tackles, 3 TFLs, and 1 pick in his career at both stops. He's got a ton of experience, 47 games played, and again, out of Louisiana Monroe. Originally, our number 4 player in the transfer class is Trey Amos from Alabama. Call him Chris, call him Paul, call him Pooh. That's the nickname. You can call him Junior maybe if he allows you. Don't confuse him with the basketball player, though. He is Chris Paul Jr. Pooh Paul is now an Ole Miss linebacker after a stay at Arkansas. Highly productive for the Hogs. 62 tackles 2 seasons ago, and then 74 tackles this past year. You also see down below the tackles for loss and the sacks by Chris Paul at 6'1", 230. Originally barely a 3-star and a top 300 player, not in national circles, but a top 100 player in the state of Georgia. So lowly regarded coming out of high school, but he has proven to be a top flight player in the SEC, and now he plays linebacker at Ole Miss. It's Chris Pooh Paul Jr. at number 3 in our transfer rankings to Ole Miss. We've got another name game for you for our next in the top 5 transfers coming to Ole Miss for 2024 here at the Voice of College Football. Just simply call him Prince, or as it tells us on his X account, call him the Hitman. Princely Umanmielen, the edge rusher from Florida. No, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I can read off his numbers. 39 tackles the past 2 years, and 9.5 tackles for loss 2 seasons ago, 11.5 this past year, with a combined sack total of 11.5 in 36 games that played at Florida. So he's a future NFL player. He also has a ton of experience in the SEC at 6'4", 255. He's the second-rated edge rusher in the portal, not just for the spring, but counting the winter cycle, and a top 20 player in the transfer portal rankings according to 247 Sports. Call him Prince. With defensive linemen, especially on the interior, you cannot go by stats when evaluating their skill set and their impact on a game, and such is the case with one Walter Nolan. When he entered the transfer portal, everybody gushed and everybody wanted him. He was the number 1 player by several surfaces coming out of high school, and basically, regardless of the numbers, he has lived up to the hype at Texas A&M, and that's one of the reasons why when he hit the portal, Everybody wanted him, and he was arguably the best player in the portal, counting both the spring session and going back to the winter. Walter Nolan at Texas A&M this past season racked up 8.5 tackles for loss as an interior lineman, double team many times, and 4 sacks. There you see the rest of the stats for the last 2 seasons for Walter Nolan at 6'4", 285, and again, once the top-rated player in the nation, and now an Ole Miss Rebel. We caught up with our guy Zach Morith from the Rebel Walk to break down his thoughts concerning Ole Miss's top incoming transfers, including their latest.
I could go through, every single defensive lineman, Walter Nolan, Princey Mielen, TJ Dudley. We acquired him from Clemson last year, but he didn't get a waiver, so he couldn't really play. He did play in the Peach Bowl, and he looked fantastic. But most recently, it was Isaiah Hamilton from Houston, 6'1" cornerback and just a ball hawk. He got 4 interceptions last year, 5 interceptions the year before. He does well adapting to quite a few different schemes, whether that's attacking the run game, recognizing that quickly, or defending well in coverage. So, again, it's another versatile guy who Pete Golding loves to work with. He could slide in as a safety, as a DB, but just another critical part. And that was kind of the final hole that I thought, which needed to be filled with a player from the transfer portal. And I thought Lane Kiffin and Pete Golding did just that, so I'm excited.
Our top 5 incoming transfer players for Ole Miss in 2024 right here at the Voice of College Football. Appreciate you stopping by. Please like the video and also subscribe to our SEC channel. See you next time.